The Smittybilt high-performance air compressor here will be for the truck owners who are looking for a small yet mighty portable option to air up their tires after wheeling, but don't want to deal with the hassle or the price of installing a more in-depth onboard air system. Now, the Smittybilt will move 2.54 CFM or cubic feet per minute, or also 72 liters per minute, and will have a duty cycle of 40 minutes at 40 PSI at 70 degrees ambient temperature. Price point for this option is going to be right around 100 bucks, making it the most affordable of its kind on the site. And the install, if you can even call it that, will get a 1 out of 3 wrenches on the difficulty meter here in a few minutes from start to finish, as you're just essentially hooking this up to your truck's battery, and that is all. So this option here, I would say, is going to be a great choice for those casual off-roaders, beachgoers, or campers, someone who makes a handful of trips a year as opposed to someone who's out there wheeling hardcore camping every single weekend. Now, I say that because the Smittybilt option here is going to be a very good, very affordable option to air stuff up in a pinch. However, full disclosure, if you are a little bit more hardcore, I would certainly recommend spending the extra dough, grabbing a dedicated onboard air system instead, and something that's just frankly going to fill your tires up a little bit faster. And that's kind of the big draw of something like this, right? If you're looking to air down for off-road or sand situations, you will need to eventually air back up, and the Smittybilt will certainly help you with that in the absence of any air stations. Now, for reference, this little guy will air a 35 by 12.5 from roughly 18 to 20 pounds, basically most common off-road air pressure for non-beadlock wheels, all the way up to 35 pounds of air in about 5 to 7 minutes, give or take. Now, if you compare that to Smittybilt's slightly larger version of the same exact product, which is 5.5 CFM, it essentially cuts that time in half. So what I'm trying to say is, yes, the Smittybilt that we have here will do the job. However, there will be slightly more powerful and more quick options available out in the market. But aside from the tire aspect, this is also a great thing to have in the family truckster for camping or rafting trips, helping you inflate things like rafts, of course, air mattresses, footballs, whatever you have around in a pinch. But going to the numbers, guys, the little Smittybilt here will pump out a max airflow of, again, 2.5 CFM, 72 liters per minute at 13.8 volts and a 30 amp draw. So real important here, guys, leave your truck running while this guy is in use, because it definitely draws a healthy dose of amperage. Now, as far as what's included here, well, the compressor does get its own little handy nylon travel bag for ease of transportation and storage, along with a 10-foot power cord, which is all wrapped up right here, and a 24-foot coiled air hose, which altogether should give you more than enough slack to easily reach all 4 tires while the compressor is connected to your battery. Now, in addition to that, Smittybilt is also kicking in a real nice hose complete with a brass inflator and a nice little air gauge here, which is, again, pretty sweet for about 100 bucks. But now we want to show you just how easy it is to get the Smittybilt up and running in your truck. So without further ado, here's my buddy Andrew to walk you through the process.
So here's the Smittybilt compressor. It all comes in one nice unit. We're going to unbuckle it here and unzip these 2 compartments. The first big one will house our compressor, our power cord, and our air line there. And you can see that this has an alligator type clip that we can just clamp right onto our battery terminal connectors, just like that. Here's our air hose, and it's got a quick disconnect with a built-in gauge. So let's get this hooked up to our battery and start pumping up our tire. So here we are underneath the hood, our battery on the passenger side. We're going to lift this boot back on our positive side, connect our air compressor to that, and then on the negative side, and go right there to that nut. Now we can pump up our tire. All right, so with our air compressor hooked up to our battery, what we're gonna do now is remove our valve stem cap, hook up our air line, and then turn the compressor on. And as you can see, we're hovering right around 23 PSI. Let's turn it on. So that's going to wrap up my install of the Smittybilt portable air compressor. And for all things F-150, keep it here at AmericanTrucks.com.